All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight we're going to be discussing learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. So stick around for all of that and much, much more. Late Night with Coach Eli starts right now. Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you may have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. When you do all of that, you're set. You're good to go. You're golden. You're gravy. It's all good in the hood, right? It's all good in the hood. Good morning, everyone, if you're in the U.S., and good day to you if you're somewhere else. You know, we've got a global audience out here on YouTube. So, when I say good morning, I'm speaking to my home country, the good old U.S. of A., United States of America. It is 5:17 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2:17 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time in my neck of the woods. My name is Coach Eli, Elias Melas, and I am in the good old San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Love the background tonight. That is the beautiful Bay Bridge that got an upgrade several years ago. They started, building the upgrade alongside the old bridge well over 10, 15 years ago, and it took quite some time to build, but it is a beautiful bridge, and it just makes the drive from San Francisco to Oakland, or from Oakland to San Francisco, so much more pleasant, so much more beautiful. And they used to actually have palm trees on that section, the new section of the bridge, when they first released it many years ago. But it was a pain in the ass to, keep those palm trees alive, sitting on a bridge. So, they actually got rid of the palm trees. I should find some pictures of when the Bay Bridge had palm trees on it. This is not the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge goes from San Francisco to the North Bay, or from the peninsula where I live in San Mateo County to the North Bay. This is the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge. Remember the Bay Bridge series between the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants in 1989, when we had that big 7.0 earthquake here? They called it the Bay Bridge series. Well, the Bay Bridge didn't look like that back then, at least not that section, but, that's why they called it the Bay Bridge series. All right. Little history there to start off the show. Now, a couple of notes before I get into the topic here tonight. First and foremost, to those of you that were watching my stream yesterday where I was running this exact same stream, I had to abruptly end the stream yesterday because something urgent came up that I had to attend to. I want you all to know that has been taken care of, and it's all good in the hood. So my apologies to those of you that were watching that stream. I'm going to be redoing that stream here tonight in its entirety. So, if you're looking to, learn more about this particular topic, learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama, then stick around if you're here live. And if you can't stay live, or you're watching this on the replay, enjoy the replay. And I'd love to get your feedback in the chat if you're here live. Or if you're watching on the replay, please feel free to comment below in the comments section. Now, another thing, I don't expect a whole lot of people to be on here because this was a last-minute show I decided to do. Basically, what happened earlier, I had to take care of some stuff, And once I was done taking care of what I needed to take care of, I actually, sat on my couch and then I fell asleep for like 3 or 4 hours. So I got some good sleep to the point of where I said, okay, let me start off my day early. Let me get this stream done that I promised my audience. And then I can just stay up and take care of my day job clients. And if I have to take a nap, later on in the morning or early in the afternoon for a few hours, it's all good. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, you got to do what you got to do, right? And I'm sure those of you out there that are entrepreneurs have dealt with a crazy sleeping pattern. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Is it the healthiest thing to do? No, but sometimes, things happen and you just got to do what you got to do, right? Right. And another thing, folks, it is May Day. May Day, May Day, May Day, May Day. It is Friday, May 1st, 2020. And here's one thing that I may be discussing later today on another stream. I may do another stream later today or maybe even 2 more streams. Who knows? I may do a walking stream in the afternoon. And then tomorrow, Friday evening, I may do another in-studio stream. But I'm more than sure I'll be doing at least one more stream later today, more than likely in the afternoon, possibly a second one in the evening, again, between a Walking with Purpose live stream or a Navigating the Modern World stream live from the studio. And I'm going to be updating you folks regarding my 5 membership package or my 5 membership packages. I do have 5 membership packages. If you go to the homepage of my channel and you see the join button there, when you click on those memberships, you're going to see a sponsor $4.99, sponsor $9.99, sponsor $24.99, sponsor $49.99, and sponsor and a super fan sponsor $99.99. All 5 of those packages are a 100% sponsorship / channel donation, meaning if you purchase one of those packages, it clearly states that I am not obligated to give you anything besides the fact that I am grateful and thankful for your donation to the channel. But I've also put alongside with all those sponsorships that occasional live streams and occasional members only live streams and pre-recorded videos included. And I'm going to share more with you folks more than likely later today or sometime this weekend regarding how I'm going to do that and when I'm going to start doing those. It was supposed to be today, May 1st. When I initially got access to channel memberships earlier this month, I had some packages that I created that I had to redo for certain reasons I won't get into here tonight. And initially I said by May 1st, we're going to start doing members only streams. Well, that's been put on the back burner for a little bit. But I will share more than likely later today or sometime this weekend how I'm going to be handling my channel memberships, starting very soon. Probably you may even get some members only videos. Well, let me leave you in suspense there. Why am I going to give you everything in one shot? And that way, you don't have to come back, right? I got to give you something to look forward to, right? Right. All right. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to get right to it. I'm probably going to be on for a couple of hours, as I will be going through another blog from one of my favorite websites, Psychology Today. And what I'm going to do is get about halfway through it at about the 1 hour mark or so, or shortly after that. I will take a quick break to refill my coffee and use the little boys' room. Okay, we'll just call it the little boys' room, the restroom, the men's room, the bathroom, right? And then I'll come back and finish the rest of it. And once I'm done, then I'm going to call it a night. So if you are here live and you have any questions that you would like for me to answer in the chat, please feel free to put them in there. And I will get to them as soon as possible. I will be looking at my OBS screen that has the chat there as I'm going over the blog. So I will see every single message as it pops up, but I will respond to it, when I get a chance, when it makes sense to do so. So anyway, let's just get right to that. Let's switch over to the browser source screen here. And once again, folks, the topic of today's stream is learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. One more time, learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. Now, what do I mean by that topic? Well, many of you out here on YouTube that know how YouTube works, there are many different types of genres out here. There are many different types of groups / creators. There are people that do comedy, parody, etc., entertainment stuff. There are people that do how-to tutorials and they educate people and they teach people things, kind of like what I do here. I'm more like a how-to channel, like how to give yourself the best possible chance of getting a girlfriend, getting a boyfriend, maintaining that relationship, how to become a self-employed entrepreneur and make that transition from the corporate world to working for yourself, etc. And then, last but not least, I don't know if I want to say an honorable mention because there's nothing honorable about this type of group. Then there's the drama group. There's a drama sphere, and there are many drama spheres out here on YouTube that, in my opinion, brings together a bunch of people that are immature, insecure, and just miserable within their own personal lives to the point of where they have to come out here on YouTube and use YouTube as an outlet to project their insecurities, and that way they make themselves feel better, typically at the expense of people that have their shit together, right? And it's not only YouTube where this happens, folks. I mean, all this stuff happens outside of YouTube, or as some of you refer to it as real life. But when it comes to me going through this stream today and reading the blog, I will be referring to examples and situations that involve YouTube and social media aspects, as well as outside social media aspects, which many of you refer to as in real life, IRL, right? Well, I honestly believe that there are real people on YouTube and you're real people here. So I don't like to call, real life. I like to call it outside of YouTube, inside and outside of YouTube. And again, I was mentioning several shows ago that at some point I want to start a show that's called, in and out of YouTube or something to that extent. Life as we know it, in and out of YouTube, or inside and outside of YouTube or social media, or something to that extent there. And I am looking for a female co-host to co-host this show with me. So if you are a female that, has great speaking skills, and is well versed on these types of topics I discuss over here, dating, relationship topics, marriages, business and finance type of things, etc., even political stuff as well. If you're well versed in those aspects and you have great speaking skills and you're not afraid to be in front of the camera and you're a natural on the camera, I would love to hear from you. You can email me by going below the description to my email, Coach Eli at coach.eliasmelas.com. That's Coach Eli at coach.eliasmelas.com, and express your interest. And then we will definitely talk by phone and see if you're the right fit for this new show. I hope to get this new show going as soon as possible. I think it would give an interesting perspective of things, comparing life today as we know it in the digital world compared to, outside the digital world, also known by most people as IRL, in real life. All right. So let's get right to it. The topic, once again, learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. Let's get over to the blog here. The blog today is written by the same doctor as the blog I did the other day, my previous stream before this one. It's written by Eileen Strauss-Cohen, PhD, and she runs a business called Your Emotional Meter. I love the name of that, Your Emotional Meter. I need to look into that because she may have some great products and services to provide that I can provide for my community regarding things that are beyond the scope of what I can do to help you folks out here. So I'm going to look into Eileen Strauss and maybe even reach out to her by email and see if she wants to do some collabs, some collaborating down the road. So anyway, and the title of her blog on Psychology Today is called Important Tips on How to Let Go and Free Yourself. Important tips on how to let go and free yourself. 12 tips on how to let go so you can have personal freedom. And this was posted on August 7th of 2017. So this is almost 3 years old. Pretty relevant. Now, folks, let me just start off by saying here that the majority of issues that prevent people from accomplishing whatever their hearts desire stems from one thing: not being able to let shit go. Have you heard of the phrase, let that shit go? Right? Okay. In life, you're going to deal with many people, and everybody has a different personality. Everyone has a different outlook on things. People have different political views. They have different views on relationships. They have different views on just about everything. And you're not always going to agree with people, and they're not always going to agree with you. And some people, hang on just one second there. And some people can take it a bit too far when you don't agree with them. Even if you're kind and cordial with them and you say, hey, man, you know what? I respectfully disagree with what you're saying. But I understand where you're coming from. I just don't agree with you. But hey, it's all good, man. I appreciate your opinion. And you're basically, in essence, saying, well, I don't feel the same way as you do about this particular thing, but I think you're a cool dude. And you know what? We can have a conversation. But see, some people, when you respond to them in that way, then they'll come back and say, well, why don't you agree with it? Why don't you? I'm right and you're wrong, right? Then they start projecting, right? When they start projecting, that's when it crosses the line. And that's when these people, try to come at you and derail you from reaching your success, because they see you as someone they wish they could be. Because the only reason why people ever project, in my opinion, onto others is because they wish they could be like them. There's no other reason to project insecurities onto anyone unless you feel threatened by that person in some way, shape, or form. So that's that. Now, let's get right to it. And the doctor that wrote this blog always loves to start things off with a quote. To let go does not mean to get rid of. To let go means to let be. When we let be with compassion, things come and go on their own. And that quote was written by Jack Kornfield. That's a beautiful quote, Dr. Eileen, to start off this blog. Give me just a second here. All right, let's get right to it here. Holding on to pain doesn't fix anything. Replaying the past over and over again doesn't change it. And wishing things were different doesn't make it so. Okay. The perfect example I can share regarding this very first sentence of this blog involves a group I used to be a part of out here on YouTube called MGTOW, MGTOW, which stands for Men Going Their Own Way. And over the 2 to 3 years that I was a part of that group, don't get me wrong, I met some great guys I'm still friends with today, but the majority of the guys I met from this MGTOW community were and still are angry and bitter men because they've gone through a divorce with their ex-wife, and because they were the breadwinner in the household, their ex-wife took half their shit, right? And these guys are upset because they feel that there's a loophole in the system that basically allows their ex-wife to steal half their money. You see, these guys are completely incorrect, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. The truth of the matter is that any marital assets that were acquired, any assets that were acquired during the marriage are considered marital assets, despite which side, earns the money, or even if both sides earn the money, or if one side makes more than the other, you combine it and then you split it 50-50. And what these guys don't understand is that, let's say, for example, they were the 100% breadwinner. They were making all the money, and their wife was the homemaker, a housewife, taking care of the kids, cooking dinner, vacuuming, doing all the traditional stuff that really doesn't apply in the modern world as much. I mean, there are still traditional relationships nowadays, but not as much. But some people still live that life, right? And a lot of these guys were living that life where they were the breadwinners. They made all the money, and the wife was taking care of the kids in the house and all that. And when the wife decides to divorce the guy, they feel that she's not entitled to, half the marital assets that were acquired together jointly while they were married. You see, the problem I have with these guys is that what they don't realize or want to admit is that the reason why they were able to go to work and focus on work all day, every day to make the money they made is because their wife was at home busting her ass, taking care of the kids, vacuuming the floor, cooking dinner and having dinner ready for this dude. So all he has to do when he gets home after a hard day's work is, kick off his shoes and sit down on the table and have a nice, high quality home cooked meal served to him. And because the woman decided for one reason or another that she didn't want to be a part of the marriage anymore, that she's not entitled to half the marital assets after she did, half the work in the relationship. Do these guys not take any of that into consideration? Or are they just angry and bitter and insecure men? That's what I more so think it is. So what happened with these guys? Okay, I tried to talk with them. I tried to help them, right? And I wasn't even charging them. I wanted to be there for them and help them work through their stuff, right? But they just couldn't let go of that pain. And like the first line of this blog says, holding on to pain doesn't fix anything. Replaying the past over and over again doesn't change it. That's the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result and never getting it. So why put yourself through that? Why put yourself through that? And wishing things were different doesn't make it so. Well, you can wish things were different all the time or whenever. Like, sometimes I look back at my exes, and with some of them that I still feel are good women to this day, I really wish things could be different. But I'm not holding on to the pain anymore. I'm not replaying the past over and over again. I may think about it from time to time because there were some great memories, but that is normal. These guys just can't let it go. And anytime you talk about any subject like this, it automatically triggers them, and it shouldn't. So let go. Let go of that pain and move forward and start enjoying whatever you have left of your life. Life is so short. Why are you going to put yourself through this for the rest of your life? Just let it go. In some cases, especially when it comes to the past, all you can do is accept whatever it is you're holding on to and then let it go. That's right. Like these dudes, these MGTOW dudes. All you have to do is accept it. You don't have to like it. Listen, do you think when women have broken up with me in the past, I like it? No. But it's not my choice. That's her choice. Both parties have a choice regarding how long their relationship lasts and when and if it ends, right? You have to learn to accept it. That's just the way things go. You have to learn to accept it. That's the way things go, right? If someone falls out of love with you and doesn't want to be with you anymore, and they're not feeling it, why do you want to continue trying, to make something work that the other side is just not feeling and probably will never feel again? Got to let it go. You're harming yourself more so when you don't do that. That's how everything changes. You have to let go of what is hurting you, right? Even if it feels almost impossible. Yeah, listen, when you're emotionally attached to a woman as a man, or a man to a woman, it is the most difficult thing to let go. That's a good example there, right? And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Men and women process emotions differently. Women respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. Men look at things logically first, and then, may shed some emotion with a reaction afterwards, right? Except when a man becomes emotionally attached to a woman after he starts dating her for a while, they start saying I love yous, and then they're together, right? And then he says, I love you, and then he's with her for a couple of years after that, and all of a sudden she breaks up with him. It's very difficult for a man to let go of that emotional attachment. And during those times, more often than not, you're going to see even the strongest of men show a lot of emotion. Just like I did when my ex broke up with me. For the first 2 weeks were the roughest. And then every day after that, it started getting a little bit better each and every day. And after 3 months, I got over it enough to the point of where, I was able to start, functioning 100% again. And now, here we are almost 2 years later, I'm completely over it. I still reminisce about the past and think about, what it could have been every now and then, but I don't dwell over it and I don't let it affect my life. And you shouldn't either. Okay? But that's what happens with a lot of men. And that's why men are afraid to commit to a woman and say, I love you, and become emotionally attached, because they know once a man gives themselves emotionally to a woman and he's emotionally attached, he's at her fate of whether she decides to stay around forever or ends the relationship. And men know what we go through if a woman breaks up with us. It's the most emotionally traumatizing thing for a man to go through. A breakup with a woman that he's emotionally attached to and loves her. It's the hardest thing to deal with. But even then, you can work through it. And if you need help working through it, if you're in that situation as a man, I can help you work through it. Okay. Deciding to hold on to the past will hold you back from creating a strong sense of self. Right. You have to have self-worth and you have to love yourself. It all boils down to that as well. Loving yourself is key. If you love yourself and you love who you are deep within, then you'll be able to work through it. You're still going to be in pain even if you love yourself when a woman breaks up with you if you're a man. But if you love yourself, you're going to be so in tune with yourself that you're going to realize, hey, this sucks, it hurts, and I'm in pain, and I miss her, and I wish I could have her back, but I got to let that shit go. And if it's meant to be, whatever's meant to be down the road, it's meant to be down the road. I'm going to turn, walk away, and never look back. I'm not going to call her. I'm not going to text her. I'm not going to email her. I'm not going to try to get her back, because she's the one that made the decision to change the terms of our relationship from romantic to friendship, and she's the only one that can change it back. So there's no amount of begging or pleading you can do to get her back. You got to let it go. And if you let her go, maybe she'll miss you. Maybe she'll think of things down the road, and maybe she'll come back. And if she comes back, you may be at a point, at that point, depending how long it is, if it happens for you, that you moved on with someone else, and maybe you'll find someone better. So you got to be in tune with yourself. You have to have a sense of self, like the blog says, and you have to love yourself. Sense of self, a self that isn't defined by your past, but rather who you want to be. Oddly enough, Painful feelings can be comfortable, especially if they're all you know. Some dudes will only recognize a breakup or something like that, or a divorce, as pain. They don't allow themselves to feel pain in other areas. They close themselves off emotionally. So when they go through a breakup, or a divorce, they're feeling that pain. Give me 1 second here. And then they get comfortable with that pain. That pain makes them feel better. But what they don't realize is that pain is holding them back from really understanding what's happening, working through it, and moving forward. Some people have trouble letting go of their pain or other unpleasant emotions about their past because they think those feelings are part of their identity. Yeah, it's not part of your identity. It's part of what you're currently feeling based on what you just went through. And once you start to identify and realize that, hey, you know what, this sucks, but I got to work through it. I got to keep moving forward. I got to keep moving forward and live my life in the same ways I lived my life before I met this woman. Before I met this woman, I wasn't dating her. Now I dated her. She broke up with me. It sucks. But now I'm back to where I was, in the same position of where I was before I met her. And you also have to think within and understand that you got to be happy within yourself with or without a life partner. Okay? For men, you got to go out there and genuinely feel that you are good with yourself and you're happy within your life, whether you're with a woman or not. You cannot allow a woman to define your life. And for you ladies nowadays, because you're modern, empowered women, with this feminist thing, okay, you have to look at it the same way. You have to go out there and live your life for you, not live your life for the man. Same thing with the man. You live your life for you, not for the woman. And if the both of you are meant to be together, it's not like in Jerry Maguire where the famous line was, "You complete me. You had me at hello." Oh, that was all, that was all really nice and sweet back in those days, right? But nowadays, it's not about completing each other. It's more about sharing each other's completeness together. Again, let me repeat that one more time. It's not about completing each other, because both men and women are working. Women are empowered. They're doing practically the same things that only once men were doing. So now it's more about sharing each other's completeness together instead of completing each other. Make sense? Yeah. In some ways, they may not know who they are without their pain. Yeah. If you identify yourself based off of your pain, you're going to have a very, very lonely and miserable life, and it's only going to make your pain worse than it already is. I hate pain. I try to avoid it in all aspects of the meaning, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's really sad when some people, think those feelings are a part of their identity, like the blog says. In some ways, they may not know who they are without their pain. This makes it impossible for them to let go. One more time. This makes it impossible for them to let go. And that's why these people are always miserable. That's why a lot of these people you see out here on YouTube that are a part of, drama sphere groups, they become a part of these groups because deep within they're feeling a lack of self-worth, and they're trying to define their self-worth with a bunch of other people that are exactly like them. But what they don't realize is they're making their matters worse, because if they want to get better and they want to have a self-worth and get out of this shitty feeling within their lives, within themselves, they need to more so hang around with positive people that are already at that level, and they need to allow those people to help, help uplift this person that's struggling. If you're a miserable person and you hang around with other miserable people, you're only going to become more miserable. So why would you do that to yourself? I mean, just think about it. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying that's that. It's common sense. But like I've been saying for my past few shows, or during my past few shows, common sense is not that common anymore. If you find it hard to let go of the past, a bad relationship, grudges, etc., these 12 tips could help. So I'm going to go through the first 6 and I'm going to take a break. Understand that the relationships you thought you'd have are going to be different than the ones you actually have. We must accept the person we are in this moment and the way other people are too. As time goes on, we continue to learn that things don't always go as planned. But part of that, don't you understand? Not everything in life is always going to go as planned. As a matter of fact, most things will never go as planned. You have to learn to adjust. And when I say you have to learn to adjust, you have to learn to adjust to the situation. Okay? Things happen. For example, when people drive to work, they know that if there's no accident, the freeway is going to move a lot quicker and they'll get to work on time. But if there's an accident, it's going to slow down the freeway. So what do some people do? Okay? What some people do is they find the detour and they work around the issue, right? It's a simple way to handle it. It's a very simple way to handle it. Very, very simple way to handle it. And there's no need to complain. You just have to accept the fact that that's how it is. Like the first line says, we must accept the person we are in this moment and the way other people are too. As time goes on, we continue to learn that things don't always go as planned. You didn't plan for there to be traffic on the freeway. People just don't go on the road and say, okay, I'm going to go out on the freeway today and I'm going to intentionally get into an accident so I can make everyone late to work that's stuck behind this accident. Things just happen. You have to learn to adjust to things on the fly. Actually, they pretty much never do. I just said that, Doc. Thank you. And that's okay. If you become aware of yourself, self-aware, right? Self-awareness, right? And you're part of your relationships, they will improve. So the more self-aware you are, the better you're going to handle your shit and the better results you're going to get, because you're going to know how to handle every situation. You're going to handle every situation as professionally and maturely as possible. However, you may also have to accept facts about certain people in your life. Right. You have to accept facts about people, certain people in your life, because there are good and bad people out there. And you may be hanging out with one person that makes you laugh and is really fun to hang around, but let's say they do hardcore drugs, or they drink like a fish, right? Or they do other illegal or unethical things. Is it worth hanging out with this person because they're entertaining, they're fun to be with? Is it worth the risk of possibly getting in trouble being around someone that does hardcore drugs, or let's say they get really drunk and then, you get in the car with them, they're driving, then you get into an accident? Is it worth it? It's not worth it. You have to learn to accept certain things about people, and my personal suggestion is to align yourself with like-minded people that are like yourself. In my case, I don't hang out with people that are hardcore drug users. I don't hang out with alcoholics. I don't hang out with anybody that I can't relate to in some way, shape, or form. I don't hang out with people that do things that I despise. It's a good way to look at it, right? Practice gratitude, appreciation, and trust in the process. What's that saying is you got to take chances or else you're never going to, have any friends, or you're going to be alone. You're not going to be able to date someone. You can't just sit there and say, oh, screw the world. Everyone's all fucked up nowadays, right? And I'm just not going to try. Well, then you're going to have a boring, miserable life. You've got to try, okay? You've got to put yourself out there. And you've got to put trust in the process, like the blog says. But you also have to realize that in some cases, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to fail. But what if you didn't give up after the 9th time? And the 10th time you tried, you found the love of your life, and you got married, you had kids, and you grew old together, and it was a successful marriage, right? A lot of people will give up after 9 failures when the 10th attempt would have made them extremely successful. I love that last line there of the first part of this blog. Practice gratitude, appreciation, and trust in the system. Okay. Let's continue. Number 2. Don't be invested in the outcome when it comes to dealing with people because it often leads to disappointment. Right. Don't be invested in the outcome when it comes to dealing with people because it often leads to disappointment. Expectations have a way of keeping us stuck because they lead us to fear certain outcomes. There are no guarantees in life, and there's nothing we can really do to get the outcomes we desire when dealing with others. Because everybody brings their own individual uniqueness to the table. And the choice you have is this. You either are in alignment with the person that you want to hang out with or you're not. And if you're not in alignment with them, why would you want to hang out with them in the first place? I mean, it's pretty simple. It's a simple concept, right? It's so simple that most people just don't get it, right? And I'm here to help you understand that. There are no guarantees in life, right? Many people say, I want a guarantee before I sign this contract. I want a guarantee before I date you. I want a guarantee before I marry you. Well, there are no guarantees. Now, you can take the best possible precautions, that you can take. If you're getting married, you can get a prenuptial agreement, a prenup, right? But if you feel the need to have to get a prenup with someone, isn't that in essence already saying that you're fearing the marriage is going to fail? So then why get married in the first place? Right? There are no guarantees in life. But you have 2 choices. You can live a lonely, miserable life, or you can take chances and probably fail a lot at first, but eventually if you keep pushing through those failures, you're going to reach tremendous success. There are no guarantees in life, and there's nothing we can really do to get the outcomes we desire when dealing with others. There's nothing we can do. But be nice and cordial to people and treat these people the way we want to be treated. Now, for me, I always give what I get. But I always go into every single person that I encounter in my life, I always go into giving them the benefit of the doubt. I always go into it with a positive attitude and welcoming them into my world to get to know them. And I'm going to be nice to them. And I'm going to be welcoming them with open arms. And if they treat me kind and genuine and with respect, I'll give them the same thing. If not, then I'll just ignore them. I'll walk away. Now, here on YouTube, because you have trolls and YouTube is a digital platform and everyone's trying to get the most attention on their channels, it gets a little crazy out here. But even then, when you deal with these people out here on YouTube, you can always block them and move on. And yeah, they can go on their channels and they can talk about you all they want, but you don't have to watch them and you don't have to feed into them. You don't have to let it get to you. Just move on with your purpose and continue meeting people. And eventually you will have the right group of people that you're going to be in alignment with. When our expectations or needs aren't met, we need to respond rationally and appropriately. Let me read that one more time because many people don't get that. When our expectations or needs aren't met, we need to respond rationally and appropriately. I've always been a professional person in my life outside of YouTube. Whether somebody was the right fit or not to work with or whatever, right? Out here on YouTube, when I first came out here on my former channel like 3.5 years ago, I didn't understand how trolling worked. I didn't understand how the court of public opinion worked. It was the first time in my life that I had become a digital public figure. Now, I was a public figure and still am a public figure in Northern California because I ran networking events and a lot of people know me. But when you come out here on YouTube, it's different because you're dealing with a huge global audience of 2 billion people. And they're hiding, a lot of them are hiding behind a fake account and no picture on YouTube. And a lot of these people will project their insecurities onto you and attack you, right? What did I used to do? I used to attack them back. I used to come at them. I used to feed into them because I wanted to defend myself and stand up for myself. But I've learned the best way to handle these people is the same way I've always handled people outside of YouTube, or as some of you call it, IRL, in real life. Is you just got to ignore them. You just got to say, hey, okay, sorry things didn't work out. Have a nice day. Take care. And if they continue talking about you, creating content about you on their channels, or, you know, getting together with groups of people and trying to make your life miserable, just ignore them and continue moving forward and focus on meeting people that you're going to better connect with and better relate to. Perfectly stated, Doc. When our expectations or needs aren't met, we need to respond rationally and appropriately. Sometimes this means setting respectful boundaries. I have boundaries. People know my boundaries. You project, you get the eject. If you're a moderator and you become a part of the enemy's house, you're out. It's the bottom line. Those are my rules. You don't like them? Tough luck. It's the way it goes. Sometimes this means setting respectful boundaries. I'm not telling you where to go or what to do, but I have my boundaries. And if my boundaries are crossed by you when you already agreed to them initially, then I'm going to have to remove you respectfully. I'm not going to talk smack about you. I'm not going to do anything besides say, all right, it was nice knowing you. Thank you so much. Sorry it didn't work out. Best of luck to you, right? Maturely, professionally. And then just move forward like nothing happened. That's it. Other times it means letting go. Let me repeat that last line one more time. Sometimes this means setting respectful boundaries. Other times it means letting go. That speaks for itself. Number 3, don't live in chains when you have the key. That's beautifully stated. We live with self-limiting beliefs that we let define who we are. Let me read that one more time. Number 3, don't live in chains when you have the key. We live with self-limiting beliefs that we let define who we are. Limiting beliefs on yourself are going to destroy you. You have the key to your own self, your own body, right? So like the doc says here in number 3, why live in chains? Why conform to someone else's wants and needs when they're not meeting your needs? Now, if they're meeting your needs and you want to meet their needs and it's a mutually beneficial thing, that's beautiful. But why live in chains and be controlled by someone else when, you don't have to be that way? You have the key to yourself. In essence, for the last 3+ years, I was living in chains. And I didn't even realize it. I was living in chains, letting many people out here on YouTube control my outcome, control what happens. It was because I didn't even realize I was living in chains when I had the key. Now I'm so self-aware of this and clear that I have the key. I'm in control of what happens. No matter what anyone else says, I'm in control of my own journey and destiny. Just like they're in control of their own journey and destiny. I can choose to respond or not respond to anyone. It's my choice. We live with self-limiting beliefs that we let define who we are. In essence, if you feel that you're only good to a certain point, and then you're dependent on other people to fill in the rest or fill in the gaps, that's a self-limiting belief. You've got to have the attitude like you're willing to learn anything and everything to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And you have to look at it in the way of you have unlimited learning potentials or potential. If you have limiting beliefs within yourself, you're never going to truly reach your success. Because in essence, you're going to be saying, well, I'm only as good regarding this up to this point. After this point, I don't know where to go. So I need someone else to do the rest. Well, that's a self-limiting belief. It's a limiting belief. Instead of you looking at it that way, why don't you look at it in the way of, okay, well, I'm at this point right now, and I've hit a crossroad. And I'm not quite sure which way to go, but I want to really find out which way I go. So let me reach out to some friends and ask them their opinion. Let me, go read some blog articles or watch some videos and see if that helps me push through that. Don't limit your potential is what that's trying to say. Your potential is limitless. We think I could never do that or I could never make that happen. Well, if you think that, then that's going to be the outcome. If you truly believe that, you'll never accomplish your goals. Yeah, right, Doc? Yeah. Open up your mind and believe in yourself. One more time. Open up your mind and believe in yourself. Alex the Beer Master, good morning. Hey, if you're around for a bit, Alex the Beer Master, can you moderate the chat? You know how to moderate the chat, right? You can tell the people with the crazy messages, right, Alex? Welcome, Alex. Glad to see you here, brother. Good morning to you. I know it's 6:09 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in your neck of the woods, and it's 3:09 a.m. in my neck of the woods. I'm redoing the stream I was going to do earlier, but something came up that I had to take care of, and it couldn't wait. So I'm basically doing this stream overnight so that way people can see the replay in the morning. Well, welcome, brother. Glad to have you on board. Okay. Open up your mind and believe in yourself. There will be many people who tell you that you can't do it. One more time. There will be many people who will tell you that you can't do it. Look at this right here. It's up to you to prove them wrong, but you don't have to go public and say, I'm going to prove these people wrong. Because you shouldn't really care about what people like that think. Keep being you. Keep doing you. Eventually, it'll all align itself in the way it was meant to be. Open up your mind and believe in yourself. There will be many people who tell you that you can't do it. Boy, that sounds all too familiar, huh? It's up to you to prove them wrong. Anyway, give me a second here, folks. All right. Number 4, let go of the idea that you can't control others' actions. We really only have control over ourselves and how we act. Folks, pay critical attention to number 4. Let go of the idea that you can't control others' actions. We really only have control over ourselves and how we act. In essence, be the best version of you that you can be. One more time. Be the best version of you that you can be. You cannot control what other people do. You want to give yourself the best chance of making your relationship work, your marriage work, your job work, right? Or anything work. Be the best version of you that you can be. You're probably still going to get screwed over by people every now and then, or maybe more often than not. But eventually, it's all going to fall into place if you just continue being the best version of you that you can be and not try to control other people and their actions to get what you want. You might be able to manipulate some people temporarily and get some temporary satisfaction or, have temporary success, but eventually that all comes crashing down. If you want to be sustainable, just be the best version of you can be. And the rest will fall into place naturally over the course of time. You can't change another person, so don't waste your time and energy trying. Yeah. I think this is the biggest factor that pushes people to hold on to unhelpful behaviors. Couldn't have said it better myself. Jesus Christ, I should go back to college and get a psychology degree. I really love this stuff, folks. I really love psychology. I'm not a psychology major, but I'm fascinated by psychology. I'm fascinated by human development and human behavior. I'm really fascinated by this topic. And I understand it so clearly. That's why I love helping people. That's why I became a coach. I love helping people. One more time. I think this is the biggest factor that pushes people to hold on to unhelpful behaviors, like the need to please. We think if only I do everything for everyone, they'll never get mad at me. Wrong! We think if only I do everything for everyone, they'll never get mad at me. Wrong. Alex the Beer Master says, Eli, were you ever go back to college to do that? Though not to me, just curious. I think you're asking, would I ever go back to college to do that? I don't know. I don't know, Alex the Beer Master. No. That's a good question, bro. You didn't have to retract that. Maybe because you misspelled or something. Not a big deal, dude. I'll answer your question, bro. I love you like a brother. I don't know, dude, because I love the coaching aspect, and a lot of what I've learned that's helped me coach people better has to do with psychology. Eli, will you ever go back to college to get psychology degree? Yeah. I knew what you were asking, Alex. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about the spelling, bro. It's late at night. It's early in the morning for you. I don't know, dude. Probably not. I can never say never. What I am going to do, though, and I was supposed to do it by now, but it's been on the back burner. I am going to take an online certification class to become a certified life coach. And I'm going to set a goal to do that by the end of the year. I just need to find the time to do it. I've been very, very busy lately. I think I'm going to go more towards the certified life coach aspect. The bottom line is, Alex, to be honest with you, getting that certification or that psychology degree is not going to change the way I am, or how I speak about things. But having a psychology degree would allow me to prescribe certain things and help people in additional ways that I would rather, have someone else do. Like, I love the coaching aspect of it. So I can never say never, Alex. You never know. But if I had to lean towards one way or the other, I'd probably lean more towards no. I probably wouldn't. And it'd be very expensive. And like I said, dude, I'm already busy as hell, and it really wouldn't help me that much. I would be in debt $200,000, for 4 years, and yeah, I just don't think it would be beneficial to me. But it's a nice thought, and I appreciate the question, dude. Thank you so much. Number 5, only worry about what you think of yourself. How often do I talk about that? And I get criticized for not knowing what I talk about, but you have a psychologist here with a psychology degree saying the same thing. I say this all the time. Number 5, only worry about what you think of yourself. Free yourself from being controlled by what others think. I keep mentioning this, and I'll say it again. It's been almost 2 weeks that I've freed myself from this online trolling and harassment I've been dealing with out here on YouTube for over 3 years. And I'm no longer controlled by what other people think. And I didn't even want to believe that I was being controlled by what they think, because I'm not an easily controlled person. But the truth of the matter is, I was allowing them to control me. And when I realized that, I said, you know what? The only way to move past this is to not allow them to control me. How do I do that? I move on. I don't talk about them. And nothing they do phases me. And if they want to talk about me all day, every day, and do whatever, that's on them. More power to them. Good luck to you. Free yourself from being controlled by what other people think. Start to prioritize how you feel about yourself. Welcome, Eli, says Alex. Thanks again, Alex, dude. You're an amazing dude. Alex, we got to do a stream on your channel soon, bro. And Alex, I want to talk with you privately behind the scenes, maybe later today in the moderator chat. I need to update you on some changes lately that happened yesterday. So let me know when you're free. You don't have to tell me in the chat, but you can just reach out to me privately. Do it through the group, the private moderator group chat, and then I'll get back to you later today, man. So anyway. Free yourself from being controlled by what other people think. Start to prioritize how you feel about yourself. In other words, love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. On my former channel and I did this a lot when I first started this channel over a year and a half ago. I would start off my streams by saying, you got to look yourself. You got to get up in the morning, each and every morning, and look yourself in the mirror and say, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself 5 freaking times. All by yourself. And then when you go out into the world, you want to be thinking that deep within. It's going to make you feel confident. It's going to make you feel good. And it's going to make you ready to tackle everything that day in a positive way. And your positive, expressions on your face are going to radiate to people around you. It's going to be infectious. Now, like I've said before in the past, you don't want to, tell yourself you love yourself in the mirror 5 times and then go up to somebody in person and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Eli and I love myself, so you should love me too. You don't do that. I always use that extreme example because this is something that you need to feel deep within. You need to have that self-confidence deep within and be humble about it, have humility, right? But if you know deep within what you're worth, nothing will faze you. And anyone you encounter throughout your days, they're either going to love you or they're going to project their insecurities onto you. People that, when you have a positive attitude, the people that still give you shit are people that are insecure and they have their own issues. But the good people, you will attract them if you love yourself. If you don't love yourself and you still think you're a good person and you're wondering why you're not attracting the good people, it's because you're not loving yourself. And other people that love themselves want to hang out with other people that love themselves as well. They don't want to hang out with people that don't love themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Such as, the group of haters don't love themselves. So what do? They hang out with other people like-minded that don't love themselves, right? And when good people that love themselves, try to, be kind and courteous to these people, it triggers them because they're insecure people that are going to project because they wish they could be happy like you. That's what it all boils down to. As Mahatma Gandhi said, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. You can't live by your values if you're living for the approval of others. You can't live by your values, your own core values deep within, if you're living for the approval of others. I did a stream on approval-seeking behavior. And if you missed that stream a few days back, go check it out. It'll give you more detail on this. Now, what I should start doing is adding cards at this point of this video and say, hey, go up here on this card. Maybe I should go on the replay and say, go up here on this card and go to that video. If I can remember, I'll do that. If not, just go back to my homepage of my channel on your YouTube app or on your laptop or desktop and go to my latest streams or impromptu streams, those playlists, and you'll see the approval-seeking behavior thumbnail and title. Check it out. You can't live by your values if you're living for the approval of others. You live for yourself. You don't live for anyone else. That doesn't make you selfish. Because when two people that live for themselves, for example, when a man that lives for himself and a woman that lives for herself come together, they are two people coming together to share their completeness together. They are not there to complete each other. They're coming complete already and they're sharing their completeness together. Do not live for the approval of others. Life's going to suck. Number 6, then I'm going to take a quick break because we are at an hour and 25 minutes. This is taking longer than I thought, but that's okay. No big deal. It's gravy. This is big. Leave room for mistakes. Leave room for mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, folks. You're human. Human beings make mistakes all the time. Thank you, Alex. I got your private message. I'll reach out to you later today, bro. I'll definitely reach out to you later today. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, dude. You're a good man. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to have a moderator here right now. This is good. I didn't expect anyone to be here, Alex. And the fact that you're here, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it, man. Did you make a mistake or say something stupid? It's okay. Use the experience to learn and make a joke. I fucked up. How many times do you hear people say that? I screwed up. I effed up. I messed up. I'm an idiot, right? Sometimes people will call themselves idiot and they don't, they're not trying to kick themselves down. They're taking ownership. They're realizing I made a mistake and they're taking ownership. And the people that are going to get ahead in life and the respectful people are going to take ownership of their mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, no matter how smart of a person you are. Every person's going to make constant mistakes. It's how you handle those mistakes. Do you leave room for mistakes? Do you expect to make mistakes? Because I do. I'm not perfect. I screw up all the time. But I work through it. I learn from those mistakes. And then I better myself. And I own those mistakes. Did you make a mistake or say something stupid? It's okay. Use the experience to learn and make a joke. It doesn't make you stupid to say something wrong or silly. If you folks understand that, your life will change completely. That is one of the best lines I've heard. It doesn't make you stupid to say something wrong or silly. It makes you human and sometimes even funny. Apparently, when I make mistakes, everybody on YouTube likes to make videos about me because I guess they think I'm very entertaining or something, right? Okay, if that's how you feel. That's great. That's gravy, right? It's all good, right? It's all good. It doesn't make you stupid to say something wrong or silly. It makes you human. You're human. You're going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. If you make mistakes, own your mistakes, work through them, and move on and move on by learning from those mistakes, which is what I'm trying to say. Makes you human and sometimes even funny. All right. When I come back, let me see. We're at number 7. We've gone through the first 6, folks. What I'm going to do is come back full screen, cue up some music, and take about a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break, and then continue with the rest of the 6 aspects of the blog. And we're discussing learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. We're talking about learning to let that shit go. It's not worth it. You're spinning your wheels. It's like having a 2-wheel drive car in the mud and you floor it, right? What happens when you floor it? You have no traction on your tires. And because you only have 2-wheel drive, you're going to be stuck in the mud. Right? Now, if you had 4-wheel drive, you might have a better chance of getting out, but you know what I'm saying. Let that shit go. Okay, let me go ahead and cue up some music here. a second here. Do-do-do-do. What do I want to play here? All right. We're all set, folks. I'll be back in about 5 to 7 or 8 minutes. Enjoy the cool royalty-free YouTube music. Do not go anywhere! to make yourself feel good. Shake it up, make yourself feel good, get up and dance. I want you all to stand up. Get your ass off the couch and start dancing right now. That feel good? Move over, Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins. He's a great guy. Great guy. Oh boy. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live on YouTube, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition. Glad you can all join me here this late night if you're on the West Coast here with me, or if you're on the East Coast, it's early morning. Good morning, and good day to all of you. It is 6:42 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3:42 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time in my neck of the woods, the San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California. Eli, what did you eat for breakfast, my friend? Let me know why you're asking that, Alex. I think I have an idea why you're asking. You're asking where I got all that energy. Well, Alex, let me know if that's what you mean. I'll get that in just a little bit here. Tonight we're discussing, or this morning we're discussing, learning to let go and free yourself of nonsensical drama. You do not need nonsensical drama in your life. Okay? I'm sure you understand the definition of nonsensical. Things that don't make any sense and are a complete freaking waste of your time and are not going to get you anywhere. Yeah. You get the hint? Have I instilled that into your brain yet? That's all I'm trying to do over here. I just want to help you folks live a more positive and drama-free life. Now, you know what? If you like watching drama TV shows like Law and Order and stuff like that, perfectly normal. But you want your real life, your actual life, to be as drama-free as possible. Alex, you having a great time? You fired up, man? Did you get up and dance, Alex? Come on, Alex. You got to get up and dance, brother. Alex is fired up. I've got to tell you that. Alex is really fired up. It's nice to have you here, Alex. It's a great pleasure to have you here. Alex, the Beer Master, subscribe. You know what, Alex? Let me go to your channel and get your channel link. And folks, if you would like to subscribe to Alex, the Beer Master, with the exception of the trolls and haters, because Alex is immune to trolls, right, Alex? Alex, you squash trolls. You eat trolls for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right, Alex the Beer Master? There's the link to Alex the Beer Master's channel. Please subscribe to him, bang the bell, select on notifications, because Alex and I are going to be doing some shows together on both of our channels. That includes his down the road. So you're going to want to, keep in touch here. Alex says, no, I just like to know what he ate for breakfast. That's all. What you ate for breakfast, because I love food. That's all, my friends. And you do have a lot of energy, but that's okay. Know what I mean? That's actually awesome. Yeah, well, Alex, it depends. Like, I have instant Quaker oats. I like to eat for breakfast. Most days I will, make a bowl of gluten-free Quaker oats. It's low. They're low in calories. And what I do, Alex, to keep the calories low but the energy up, I use Sweet and Low. I put a few packets of Sweet and Low. And then I will actually add some, some natural, raw, and unfiltered honey on top. And then I may even add some blueberries or some raspberries at times. Sometimes I'll just eat it plain. But depending on how hungry I am in the morning, I'll either make a small bowl, which is about 150 calories, or a large bowl, which is 300 calories. So that's typically what I'll eat. Maybe I'll eat a breakfast bar. maybe a muffin at times, a sausage muffin or something like that with some cheese on it. I don't eat a lot in the morning. I like to spread my meals throughout the day to not exceed my calorie maximum intake to stay healthy and fit, but to also keep the energy going, right, to do what I need to do. And when you eat, when you eat more smaller meals throughout the day instead of 2 or 3 larger meals, your body is constantly burning fat. You keep your body in fat burning mode. So, your metabolism is working all day instead of just part of the day. And when you keep your metabolism on fire and burning all day, every day, that's part of what, keeps you staying healthy and fit. Alex, the Beer Master, I don't even care. So I'm enjoying myself no matter what. Well, dude, I seriously do love you like a brother. I'm not just using that line on you, Alex. I do love you like a brother, dude. And I'm just glad to have you here. But anyway, that's that. Let's get back to the blog so I can get through this and then, try and make this show as short as possible so people can watch the replay. All right, let's go back to the browser screen here and get back to the blog. All right, so number 7, accept the things you cannot change. Accept the things you cannot change. Stop wishing things could be the way they once were. You got to get over it. The past is the past. For example, if you're a dude dating a chick, right, and she breaks up with you, stop wishing that things could be the way they once were. Occasionally, if you want to reminisce, no problem. But if every day you wake up for years on end, wishing that things could be the way they once were with an ex-girlfriend, then you're going to live a miserable life. And any new woman that may come into the picture is going to pick up on that and sense that you're not ready to move on because you haven't moved on. You got to move on and open up, the door for other people to come into your life. When one door closes, another one opens, right? Plain and simple, right? Bring yourself into the present moment. Bring yourself into the present moment. You're in the here and the now. You're in the here and in the now. You're in the present moment. You're not in the past. And you're not in the future. Now, it's okay to think about the future because the future, if you look towards the future, you may be thinking a little bit ahead and maybe trying to plan things out and maybe setting a goal for yourself, right? But if you're living in the past, you're backtracking. You're not moving forward. You understand what I'm saying? Bring yourself into the present moment. This is where life happens. No shit. I'm here live on the air right now on YouTube at 6:49 a.m. Eastern, 3:49 a.m. Pacific. I'm in the here and the now. Now, for those of you on the replay, and if you watch this replay later today on the same day, then, this show happened hours ago, but it's still present because it's my latest stream, right? It's relevant, right? Be relevant. Relevancy. I've done streams on that. Go back and check out those streams. Folks, I've done streams on all these topics and they're crucial. You can learn a lot from these and better your lives if you just actually care to listen and watch. You can't change the past. You can only make decisions today to help how your future turns out. One more time. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can't change the past. You can only make decisions today to help how your future turns out. That speaks for itself, Doc. I have nothing more to say. That was very well written. Number 8. Number 8. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. Here's why. The doc wrote it quite well. This will allow you to relax and enjoy life's journey. I laugh with myself and at myself all the time. I say this all the time. If you cannot take a joke at your own expense, then you should not be allowed to make jokes about others. Okay? Let me tell you something. some of the funniest moments and most entertaining moments and most confident moments in my life are when I talk shit about myself. You know what that does? It makes people laugh, and it shows that you're human and that you're not trying to be something that you're not. Don't take yourself too seriously. This will allow you to relax and enjoy life's journey. I laugh with myself and at myself all the time. Again, if you can't laugh at yourself, okay, and at yourself, then when something funny happens to someone else, should you be allowed to laugh at them? Come on. You got to be fair and reasonable with everyone. Don't take yourself too seriously, folks. Life is too short. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, there's a time and a place for having fun and busting your ass at work and being professional, right? But seriously, folks, don't take yourself too seriously. And another way of saying this is don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. It's a great book if you haven't read it. Well, here's a good one. Here's a real good one. Do what scares you. Wow, I've never heard it said this way, but this is interesting. Do what scares you. Fear holds us back from doing a lot of things because it closes our minds to possibilities for our future and locks us into our comfort zone. One more time. Fear holds us back from doing a lot of things because it closes our minds to possibilities for our future and locks us into our comfort zone. Let me tell you, folks, no risk, no reward. I've said that time and time again. No risk, no reward. And every single aspect of life involves a risk to get ahead and to get what you want out of life. In other words, accomplish what you want out of life. I've encountered so many people in my life. You know, I've encountered some women, many women, that say, hey, you're a nice guy, you're a good guy, you're attractive, you got your shit together. You know, I've been through so much, and it's really hard, it's really hard for me to trust guys. And you know, I try to tell these women, I say, look, you got to let go of the past if you want to have a future. I say, hey, do you enjoy the company of a man? Do you enjoy, being in love and romance and all that? Oh, of course I do. I just don't want to get hurt again. Well, there's always a chance you're going to get hurt. It's scary, but if you sit there and continue to feel that way for the rest of your life, you're never going to be with anyone again. Then you're going to be lonely and miserable. So I tell these women, hey, it's your choice. Do you want to be a scaredy cat and basically, prevent yourself from getting what you want? Or do you want to take a chance that you may actually get it? Because if you don't take that chance, you're never going to get it, right? Most fears fill us with doubt and what ifs that imprison us. Man, this is so well written. Dr. Eileen, I got to say, this is an awesome blog. Most fears fill us with doubt and what ifs that imprison us. I just gave a perfect example of what some women have done to me. And it's not even to me. They're not even doing it to me. They're doing it to themselves. They're imprisoning themselves from having a happy, healthy, everlasting relationship with a good man they desire. Why imprison yourself from what you really want? If you think that imprisoning yourself is going to prevent you from getting hurt, what's going to hurt you more is being lonely and miserable for the rest of your life. So what's going to be better? Taking a risk of getting what you want and maybe getting hurt a few times, and then if you keep trying, you find the love of your life and you're happy, or imprisoning yourself and never getting that and being lonely and miserable forever? I'm always willing to take risks to get ahead. And you should too. Take risks to get ahead. And again, you may fail the first 9 times, like I mentioned earlier, but that 10th time could be that magical time. And had you given up after the 9th time, you gave up right before things were going to happen. Don't do that to yourselves. Don't sell yourselves short. The more you do to get out of your comfort zone, the more fear will subside, meaning it will go away. The more you do to get out of your comfort zone, the more fear will subside. We've all had fears. And we've all had a comfort zone. And we've all struggled to get out of that comfort zone. Every one of us, even people that are confident like myself, I wasn't always like this. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't open and friendly, all my life, but I was never as confident. Well, I wasn't as confident in the past about doing what I do out here today on YouTube until, I'd say maybe the last 10 years of my life or so. 10 years, 15 years or so. I'm 46 years old. The first 30 years of my life, I would have really feared doing this. When I hit my early 30s, I started to realize the more chances I take and the more I step out of my comfort zone, yes, I might get hurt more often, but I'm also going to accomplish a lot more than staying within my comfort zone. Does that make sense? Okay? Pretty simple. Most fears fill us with doubt. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. The more you do to get out of your comfort zone, the more fear will subside. I just read that too. In life, do what scares you and you'll grow and succeed. That right there is the gold mine. That line right there is the frickin' gold mine. For this show, I will say, if you're going to remember one aspect of this show, and only one line of this show, one takeaway from this show, remember this line. In life, do what scares you, and you'll grow and succeed. One more time, as slowly and clearly as possible. In life, do what scares you and you'll grow and succeed. I can't emphasize that enough. I can't emphasize that enough. You are your own worst enemy. So don't be your own worst enemy. And you'll grow and succeed. Wow. Express what works for you. Express what works for you. Find your voice and share with others what you're thinking and feeling in a rational way. Not irrational, rational. Reasonable, not unreasonable. Rational. Find your voice and share with others what you're thinking and feeling in a rational way. That's what I do here on my channel. This is my voice. This is what I want to share with others. I share what I think and how I'm feeling because I want you folks to feel the good times and the bad. I want you to hear it in my voice. Part of finding your voice, is learning to be a great public speaker with your voice inflection. You want people to feel when you're nice and calm and relaxed. And you also want people to feel when you're excited and you're like, wow, this really, really means something to me, right? Can you tell the difference? When you watch YouTubers or listen to podcasts with the monotone voice. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is Bob, and today we're going to be talking about, letting that shit go. And number 10 is express what works for you. Find your voice and share with others what you're thinking and feeling in a rational way. You know what that means? Like, does that put you to sleep compared to number 10? Express what works for you. Find your voice and share with others what you're thinking and feeling in a rational way. Do you hear my voice inflection? Do you hear that? All right. Anyway, if you continue to communicate with others what works for you and doesn't work for you, you'll no longer bottle up your emotions. If you continue to communicate with others what works for you and doesn't work for you, you'll no longer bottle up your emotions. Communication is key, folks. Share with others what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You'll no longer bottle up your emotions. I'll go back to the example of when you're getting to know a woman or dating a woman. When you first meet her, you both should be talking about what works for you and doesn't work for you. You should be asking those questions. You should have fun on the first date too, but you should also be asking those questions. Hey, what do you enjoy doing for fun? What do you not enjoy doing for fun? Or what do you not enjoy doing, which is what I'm trying to say. What do you enjoy doing for fun and what do you not enjoy doing at all? Find out your common ground. Communicate that. And just because you don't have common things all around, you may have enough common things that you can relate to enjoy a long-term, everlasting, sustainable relationship. But you got to talk about it. You got to get to know each other. You got to ask questions, communicate. Don't bottle things up. Don't hold things in. Expressing yourself is an important part of feeling good about yourself and your relationships. That goes for men as well as women. A lot of men nowadays are afraid to express themselves emotionally because they're afraid of getting hurt. That's a man behaving like a woman. A confident man is just going to be himself and says what's on his mind. And a confident man is going to say, okay, yes. And in your head, you see this beautiful hot chick and you're like fazed by her looks and you like her personality, right? And many men fear expressing what they want and don't want because they feel that if they express something that the chick doesn't like, she may not want to continue seeing them or going out with them in the first place. You got to be honest with yourself first and then be honest with the woman. Women can pick up on the most subtle insecurities and lies, right? The best chance you have of making it work out with any woman in that situation is to be yourself, express yourself, express what you like, express what you don't like. And if she doesn't resonate with what you like and don't like, and it doesn't work out, then she's doing you a favor by not getting into a relationship with you that's going to drive you crazy and make it much harder to get out of later. Or, she'll be with you for a while and then she'll leave you and you'll be emotionally hurt for a while. So express yourself. Express what you like and don't like and what works and doesn't work for you. Don't bottle up your emotions. Expressing yourself is an important part of feeling good about yourself and your relationships. Absolutely. Number 11, allow yourself to feel negative emotions. Alex, the beer master says, you lie, I did. I think you meant Eli. Are you using like voice to text, Alex? I did what scared me, and that was a go on YouTube and start making videos, and it made me feel great when I came out of my comfort zone by making YouTube videos. It is awesome, and I enjoy I think you mean to say every day. That's beautiful, Alex. I'm so proud of you, dude. It's not easy coming out here and creating pre-recorded videos, which can be edited. But if you go live, that's live. Like I'm live right now. What I put out there right now is live. You can never take it back. People are watching. With a pre-recorded video, which is already hard enough to do for people that aren't willing to step out of their comfort zone, you can actually edit the pre-recorded videos and you can chop them up and do takes and takes, right, over and over again, right? Then when you go live, that's a whole new ballgame. It's even more difficult to go live, run a show for hours, make it interesting, and have the confidence to not screw up. And you're going to screw up at times. Now, I'm very experienced at doing this, but even then, I can still make mistakes. I screw up at times. But the fact that you stepped out of your comfort zone, Alex, is what changed your life. And it's part of your personal development of becoming a stronger and better man than you already are. You're already a good man, but you're becoming stronger each and every day. And I see that, dude. And I respect you a lot for that, man. Thank you for your comment, brother. Thank you so much. Whether you lost a loved one through a death or a breakup, honor your loss. I honor my father each and every day. Like I mentioned the other day on the stream, my father passed away a little over 11 years ago. 11 years ago last month. My father was my mentor. My father was my rock. My father taught me and made me the man I am today. And I owe him my life for that. My mother did a great job too, and I respect her. She's still around. But right here it says, whether you lost a loved one through death or a breakup, lost my father, a few years ago, I lost a woman I really cared for that I was going to have a life with for many various reasons I don't need to get into right now. I've done it in the past. Maybe I'll get into it down the road again. Maybe we'll do a special show on it. Who knows? You honor your loss. Learn from your losses. And that way in the future, you won't make the same mistakes. And most mistakes I made, if not all, were honest mistakes. But even too many honest mistakes, they add up. And they can be detrimental to your success. But like the doctor says here, honor your loss. I keep saying I have nothing bad to say about my ex Dana. She's a phenomenal woman. And I am over it. But I know the value of what I had in that relationship. I know the value she brought to my life. And I also know the value I brought into her life. But I learned a lot from it. It's made me a stronger man. And any woman I'm with in the future is going to get an even better me than she got. And she got a lot of great things from me. And she gave me a lot of great things. She did. Honor your loss. Trying to ignore your negative emotions will extend your suffering. Loss is difficult to experience. And it is okay to allow yourself to hurt and be sad. Trying to ignore your negative emotions will extend your suffering. Loss is difficult to experience, and it is okay to allow yourself to hurt and be sad. Let yourself feel and go through the grief process so that you can move forward. I've got to read that again. Trying to ignore your negative emotions will extend your suffering. Whenever I feel something negative, I tackle it head on. It doesn't mean it's going to stop the pain, but it allows me to identify that there is pain there. And it allows me to start thinking, what am I going to do rationally to get back on track and make myself feel better? Well, number one, I realized that when things are fresh, that create that type of negative emotion, it's going to take time to work through it. So ignoring your negative emotions is going to put you in an endless cycle of suffering. Just like these MGTOW guys I was talking about. I don't hate these people. I don't hate anybody, right? These people are in an endless cycle of suffering. They're ignoring their negative emotions because they don't want to own up to what's actually happening. And until they're able to own up to what happened and accept it, they're going to have endless suffering, which makes them not only very difficult to be around, almost impossible to be around. No one wants to be around people like that, folks. Not only is it unattractive, it is unbearable to be around people like that. So why would you want to repel people? Solely on the fact that you're ignoring your negative emotions based on something you went through, which in turn is going to just make you suffer and make you look, very unapproachable to other people, or make you appear very unapproachable. And it will repel people because they know you're down and they don't want to be around people that are down because they don't want to be, they don't want to be put in that state of being down like yourself. Loss is difficult to experience. No shit. And it's okay to allow yourself to hurt and be sad. This goes for both men and women. Women are naturally going to be sad more often than men. Men are stronger emotionally. Those are just the biological facts. No disrespect to the strong, empowered women of today's modern world. Biologically, men are stronger emotionally than women. That's why we balance that aspect of women out. Women are more nurturing naturally than men, and they balance us out in that way. I'm a very nurturing guy. But let me tell you something. I'm a very nurturing guy naturally without having a woman. But when I have a woman in my life, I'm even more nurturing because she more so balances that part of me. And when she's with a man like me that's strong emotionally, I balance out her emotional side, which is more naturally not as strong because of her biology of being a woman. Men and women work very well together. I'm a firm believer in that. Allow yourself to be hurt and sad. And if you're a guy, even a strong guy, and every now and then you shed a tear even in front of your woman, let me tell you, I've shared a story when I shed a couple tears in front of Dana, my ex in the past, and that turned her on more. And she goes, I connect with you more when you cry sometimes and you let it out. I really feel more, and I want to be there for you more. And as men, when we cry, especially in front of our women, it makes us feel weak. It makes us feel less masculine. Because we know we're supposed to be the rock. We know we're supposed to be fucking strong. Right? And when we have a moment of weakness, we look at that as something really bad, when the truth of the matter is it's perfectly normal for a man. And I had to learn that one the hard way myself. I used to be closed off in those ways in my younger days. I used to be somewhat closed off emotionally when I was with women. The moment I learned to work through that, it changed my life. And it's bettered my relationships. Let yourself feel and go through the grief process so that you can move forward. To these MGTOW guys out there or anyone else that is holding on to negative emotion, regardless of what put you there, you gotta allow yourself to feel the pain. You gotta allow yourself to feel the pain on your own. You gotta work through this on your own before you can be around people, or else you're just gonna be a nuisance. You're not gonna be approachable, and it's gonna be annoying as fuck to be around you. Let yourself feel. Let it out. Come talk with me. I'll help you out. I'll listen to you for as long as it takes. And go through the grief process so that you can move forward. You got to grieve over any loss. You got to tackle it head on. You got to identify it and own it. And then you can start working through it until you identify it and own it and accept it. You can't go through the grieving process or the grief process, like the doctor says here in the blog, so that you can move forward. You got to close that door, that chapter of your life before you can open up a new door or a new chapter. It's pretty plain and simple. That's why people that go through a breakup always want to know if the person that they're starting to get to know, to possibly date and become romantic partners with, is on the rebound. So typically a common question that men and women ask each other nowadays when they meet, whether it's online or offline for the first time, is how long ago was your last relationship, right? I ask that all the time because I want to know if it's only been 2 months, you're probably still not over your ex and you're probably on the rebound. And maybe all you're looking for is rebound sex, which is not what I'm looking for, right? Ask questions. Don't be afraid. What's the worst that can happen? You're asking too many questions. Well, I'm trying to get to know you. Well, I think that's too much to ask for a first meeting. Well, okay. Well, I tell you what, have a great day. You're not the right fit for me because you're not open to allow me to get to know you. I want to know as soon as possible. First phone call, I want to ask you questions. I want to see if it's even worthy, if you're even worthy of my time to get into my car and come and do a hike or a walk with you, or get coffee or whatever, right? Let yourself feel and go through the grief process so that you can move forward. And find other people, to fill those voids in your life. And last but not least, number 12, learn forgiveness. Resentment and unwillingness to forgive will keep you locked in the past and prevent you from moving forward with your life. Let me repeat that first line one more time. Well, first of all, number 12, learn forgiveness. Resentment and unwillingness to forgive will keep you locked in the past and prevent you from moving forward with your life. And Alex saying, yes, I am. I'm enjoying the show, and it's making me feel better. Good, Alex. I'm so proud of you, bro. I'm so proud of you. Folks, one of the worst things you can do that will hold you back from accomplishing whatever you want to accomplish is holding on to resentment and being unwilling to forgive people for doing you wrong or doing harm to you or trying to do harm to you. I will tell you something. A couple weeks ago, I'm going to say this again. I was finally able to move forward from a group of people that had been constantly coming at me here all the time. And the reason why I was able to move forward and it doesn't bother me anymore, it doesn't faze me. I don't pay attention to them. I don't watch their shows. I don't care what they do. I have other things that I fill my days with. Is because I was holding on to resentment. I was holding on to resentment. I'm not going to get into too much detail regarding the resentment I was holding on to, but I was holding on to resentment. I even went public on it in the past. You know why I've been able to move forward? I've been able to move forward because I removed that resentment. And as much as I can't stand this one particular person that I was holding on to that resentment with, I've learned in my head and my heart to forgive even this person. I do forgive this person. Now, it doesn't change anything else beyond that. It doesn't change the kind of person this person is. But you know what? If I never released that resentment and I was unwilling to forgive this person, I would never be able to move forward. The moment I did that a few weeks ago, it changed my life and it changed my future out here on YouTube. And now I more so feel like I'm heading in the right direction, and it was a lesson learned. Folks, the worst thing you can do is hold on to resentment. Again, going back as a reference point to my ex-girlfriend, Dana. When she broke up with me, she sent me, we had to take care of some loose ends after the breakup, which she handled very maturely, and I did as well. She put one line in the email. Well, she wrote, it was a longer email, but there was one line in the email that stood out. She goes, I hold no resentment for the times we spent together. She didn't. I didn't either. Because they were great times. They were great memories. And in essence, what she was saying is that even though we were meant to be together, sometimes things happen that tear people apart and break people apart. And that's just a fact of life. It's part of life. She was able to move forward like I was able to move forward because neither one of us held on to any resentment over the other. And just thinking about this does put me in an emotional state, because when you're dealing with a woman like that breaks up with you, and you're a strong guy like me, you know, and I can come out and say I fully respect this woman, and I understand the reason why she made the decision she made. It's a good emotional feeling. This is not an emotionally hurt feeling. This is a positive emotional feeling I'm feeling right now. I want to share that with you folks so we can connect at that level. Remember, when you forgive, you aren't doing it for the other person. You're doing it for yourself. I'm going to repeat that again. Remember, when you forgive, you aren't doing it for the other person. You're doing it for yourself. You cannot move forward unless you forgive. And for me to be where I'm at right now with this YouTube channel, and it's nowhere where it needs to be. There's a lot of work to be done. But the only reason why I'm even still here and able to go live every day and do these shows despite what's happened is because I've learned to forgive the people that have done harm to me and tried to do harm to me. I forgive all of you. I do. I hold on to no resentment at all. And take that for whatever it's worth. And I'm using this example, folks, because you got to learn to rise above this shit. You got to learn to be the better person. And you got to understand that sometimes, if not in many cases, things aren't going to go your way. And that's okay too. But that doesn't mean you give up and stop doing what you enjoy and what you're passionate about. But if you're not able to forgive, you're never going to be able to move forward. And the last line here, if for no other reason than that, forgive and let go. One more time. If for no other reason than that, forgive and let go. Let that shit go. It's not serving you. If something is not serving you, folks, let it go and focus on things that serve you. Part of serving you is helping other people. Serving yourself doesn't necessarily mean you directly have to serve yourself. Serving yourself can also mean helping someone in need. Because while you may not be directly serving yourself in that instance, you're serving your heart and soul by serving someone else. You're being a compassionate person with empathy and love for others in the world. And you're being selfless and not selfish. You're being a good human being. Let that shit go. It's not worth it. It's not. Carl Jung said, here's another quote the doc shared, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Right, it's your choice. There's a lesson in that for all of us. Try to let go of whatever it is that's holding you back from experiencing yourself. You'll probably realize that you are not what other people say you are. One more time. You'll probably realize that you are not what other people say you are. You are not your pain, your past, or your emotions. It is the negative ideas about ourselves and our hurtful self-talk that get in the way of who we really want to be. Being able to let go requires a strong sense of self. One more time. Being able to let go requires a strong sense of self, which gives you the ability to learn and grow from your experiences. All I've ever done out here on YouTube on my channel, this channel or my previous channel, Coach Eli, Uncompromising Business and Personal Relationship Coaching, is share my experiences with you folks. Share my stories with you. Because I've been through a lot and I've learned a lot. And I want to help you learn what I've learned. So that way, maybe I can help make your life a little bit easier. Or if you go through something, maybe you'll be able to identify the issue quicker and start working through the healing process, the grieving process like we were talking about earlier. And there's about the author. Elias Cohen, PhD, is a psychotherapist and blogger who teaches in the Department of Counseling at Barry University. She's pretty cute too, but she's probably married. I mean, she looks pretty good. Anyway. Dr. Eileen, you're probably married and you probably have children. But nothing wrong with me saying you look pretty good. Great smile, great hair, great face. Smart woman. That's exactly the type of woman I would love to marry and have 10 kids with. Reproduce with that. Reproduce some positive kids in this world. If I was with a woman like that, never mind. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. I'm learning to watch more what I say. I have a big mouth. And this is YouTube. And everyone's watching. See how in tune I am with myself? That's what you need to be with yourself. Because when you're in tune with yourself, folks, when you're in tune with yourself, oops, I'm on the quad screen. When you're in tune with yourself, everything else will fall into place naturally. And you'll accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires, regardless of how long it takes. Sometimes you're not going to get results right away. It doesn't mean that you're not heading on the right path and you aren't going to get there. Keep moving forward in a positive way. After letting the past shit go, you'll eventually reach all of your goals, dreams, and aspirations. That being said, folks, I'm about to get on out of here. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, Alex, the Beer Master. And thank you to everyone else that was watching and not chatting. I will be back later today, probably for a walking stream or a in-studio stream, or maybe both. You'll get at least one more stream from me later today, but it will not be until at least the afternoon. It may be a walking stream, it may be an in-studio stream, or it may be both. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. With that being said, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. We are out. We're at the 2 hour and 33 minute mark. 2.5 hours in the middle of the night. Good night.